Hey there, Sean. Hope you're having a great day today. It's your video lesson. So here are two things I want to talk about. I'll talk about those two things, and as usual, if you have questions or look at anything at the end, feel free to shoot me a message on over, and I'll be more happy to answer those questions. So let's get to it. So there's a continuation of our discussion on Wish. Like I said last time, that one we can kind of use as like a case study as to like the sound of the grunge era with that flat 2 and the flat 5. I don't remember if I mentioned it last in the video, but I don't think that these players were sitting down going, we're in the grunge era now, it's time for us to use flat 2, flat 5. Hey guys, in Soundgarden, what's the flat 2, flat 5? Oh, this is minor pentatonic, we added to the scale. That didn't happen. Probably more likely what happened is they would hear songs that they like that use that certain device in there. The same way that Kurt Cobain didn't sit down and go, oh, those chords sound good together, I'm going to put them in a song. There's probably some Meldon song out there that kind of does a similar thing. And that's what they're using as inspiration. So these players, what they usually do is they learn like a bunch of like Green River songs. And then like that becomes kind of like their stockpile of like licks or chords that play nicely together. So you're kind of subject to your inspiration. So whatever you listen to is kind of like what you're going to try to emulate. And so that's where these sounds probably came from. Is not them going, if you take a minor pentatonic, guys, you add flat 2 to it. I bet it's gonna sound real cool. I bet someone in the band heard someone do this somewhere out there using power chords, and it just so happens to be this. So what happens in the theory world, is that a composer or artist will write music, right? And then that person, then that person will come and go, and then theoreticians will come by later on, like me, and go, hey, these are the things that these people are doing. Whether they know it or not, that's not necessarily important. It's just that these are devices that they use frequently. And that's what I did in school with like Bach or any other classical composer is go, hey, they're using these all the time. Same way that in Spanish music, it sounds a lot like this. And then that happens all the time, right? In Spanish music. So if you want to write that style, guess what you should learn that if you want to learn early 20th century classical music, Spanish music, that is. So in this song, we'll do today is I'll go over the second part of the song. The back half. What happens first is they do a little climb down figure. It goes D, C, A flat, or A flat, F. So during the keyboard part, that's happening in the background right before the big finish. And then he does this run right here. And he does it 3 times. Distortion sounds like this. So what he's doing there, and get back clean tone, he's hitting a D5, muting everything, taking that pressure off the fingers. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and A flat. It was like 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 ba da da dee da 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 dee da da. That's the last 2 riffs of the song, and once you got that down, that's kind of all the pieces of the song, and then at that point we'll start putting it all together. And we'll talk about that next week when we see each other synchronously. All right, man, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.